Hi. Yes, this is second part of talking about Ascension, and I'm here as one of the angelic realms, a direct incarnation of Archangel Michael. So I'm some consider label as a ascendant master as one of the labels, or some souls would say that we are here as the ascendant beings of light that are here to share and explain our information about the ascension process. So yeah, this is for all those star seeds and light workers that are open to the guidance that we have to provide. So this is how we function. We function on a level of unity consciousness. So that means that similar to how a group gets together, a group of organizers, and they talk about different situations about how to improve a community, we actually communicate through each soul. So each soul that's on this earth right now as an incarnated angel is actually able to talk through a group of souls as one. So that is similar to what I'm doing right now. All the information I'm talking to you about is actually from a group consciousness. So this is the big difference between being um, on an individual consciousness, meaning one soul is limited, meaning that if you look through the eyes of one soul and you can only see that one soul, you're not able to see the unlimited nature and the direct source that that soul connects to. So this is similar to labeling, oh, this person is good, this person is bad. Now these are divisions. Now once you do that, then the whole balance of unity is lost at that moment. So the reason why we talk about ascension on this earth right now is it's a big deal right now. It's the biggest change that's ever happened on this earth. And this is something that will transform every soul's life on this planet, whether each soul realizes it or not. So this is not about why hasn't disclosure haven't happened yet? Um, you know, what do you think is going to happen, what might happen, what may happen. All those are based in ego, meaning the ego could never know for sure. It's only based in limitation. So we're asking you as the ascendant masters to exist beyond that point of ego attachment, because the new age in consciousness is about knowing. It is not about guessing. It is not about saying, I think I am this, I think I am that, now I am this. No, that's the old way of living. That's been taught for generations, and that has caused wars, divisions, and separations. And the reason why that is because once you divide from source, then you instantly, what's considered in the angelic realms, in the higher dimensional realms, is you instantly enter a state of insanity, because at this state, then you're no longer able to know who you are, and you're pretty much lost in the world. So most souls on the earth exist in this state. They're not knowing who they are, why they're here. So instead of trusting their intuition, they try to look for information in different sources. They read different books, different magazines, and still become confused, because the people that are writing these magazines and books are these souls that are confused themselves and not able to have this direct connection with source. So it's a pattern of insanity, of confusion, of chaos, until each soul individually decides to awaken, to realize awakening is not in a thinking process. It's not here, we repeat, it's not here. If it was here, then you would not have a sense of connection, meaning a connection is inside here. And inside here is where you exist beyond the limits. Now you can tell when I'm talking, there's no doubt in the words that I'm saying to you. So you can sense that by now, who I am and who we are as one, as a collective of beings of light. Now our mission is here. Mission here is to inform you that ascension is a process in which you're no longer going to be able to exist in a state of fear. So that doesn't mean, oh, every soul on this earth must give up their fear. It's a choice. It means, however, though, that only souls that will survive this shift, and I'm not talking about December 21st, 2012 being when a whole bunch of people is going to die and a whole bunch of destruction. That's not the case at all. The case is souls will survive that still choose duality after the December 21st date. It's after that date, after these dates right now that are happening, increasingly more and more by the day over the upcoming year, where there will be those souls that still choose duality will be removed from the earth. And yes, it will be in the physical death. And yes, some of these will be natural, other will be considered unnatural. Um, it's no new thing to have physical death on this world, because many souls have come here and gone. Now, the choice is you as a soul, as a star seed, as a light worker. Do you choose to exist beyond the limitations of duality? It's up to you. Now, choosing is not saying in a mind-centered event, saying, "Oh, I choose to exist beyond duality." It's no problem. No, I'm ready for ascension right now. Let's go. Let's go for ascension right now. Anyone that's not for ascension, that's too bad for them. Now, that's an ego-centered way of living. That's how you stay focused on the vision. Meaning, there's a lot of star seeds and light workers that are talking about, ascension being a process that humanity is lost to, and we ask that you stop this ego attachment to feel that it's a lost cause, because that's not the case at all. And if it was, then we would not talk to you. We would not be here incarnated on this earth at this time, because the planet itself would be destroyed. And that is not the case. The case is not for the planet to be destroyed. The case is for the planet to be fully restored to a higher dimensional energy. Now, this higher dimensional energy is where the earth itself is a living being, a living soul, just as you are. So the earth is rising to its full potential. Now, for a lot of star seeds and light workers, like to enjoy to describe this process as a process where there's a rebirth in consciousness. Now, this rebirth in consciousness is where you're no longer living in the state of fear, of feeling, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe, I should do this. Maybe this should happen. Maybe that shouldn't happen. And then there comes the judgments. Oh, why is that soul over there doing that? They're treating that person bad over there. Why that should never happen. That should not happen. Or why is that person doing this? Or why does that person dress this way? Why does that person look this way? Oh, they look weird. They look strange. All these are illusions. Now, clearly you can see it's easy to tell an unawakened soul when such souls talk like that, because these thoughts are based off of mind attachment. So before that soul says such things in the physical, then that soul is actually attaching to those thoughts that come in the head. Now, those thoughts itself are destructive, and those are what keeps a soul in a lower vibration. Now, as you rise your vibration, such thoughts, you shift from here to intuitive knowing inside. Now, inside of you is where you intuitively know that you are source. Now, while you're here, you can't know your source. You can only guess. You can only focus on the thought, oh, I am source, so I believe that I am source, so I must be source. Or can I not be source? What makes me source? What doesn't make me source? How can I reach more source? What is source to begin with? Why is there even a source? Now, such questions are based in fear, meaning fear is where there's a lack of information. So it's similar to a child being afraid of a monster now that doesn't even exist in the closet. Now, this is based on your own reality, your own creation. So whenever you exist in a reality based in separation, based in fear, then you're focusing on a reality that doesn't exist. So when you focus on the thoughts in your head that focus on judgments, criticisms, and fears, then those realities do not exist, meaning they're focused on as real only in the lower dimensions. Now, as you exist and vibrate in the higher dimensions, such judgments and criticisms go away. So they are no longer seen as real. So as you awaken out of the fear, then you're starting to feel more harmony. You're starting to feel more peace. You're starting to feel more joy. You're starting to feel more acceptance. You're starting to see that you're not just a body, and you're actually a being of light here on the earth. So being a body, or just you're also feeling that you're not just a mind. You're not just a group of belief systems. You're not just a group of judgments, of criticisms. And then you're not allowing yourself to be caught up in the drama. As we see a lot of starseeds and light workers right now being caught up in unnecessary drama, feeling that they need to uh, stop a person from insulting them or stop this from happening in their lives, and all these other dramas, and this is only causing more suffering and more pain. And that's not our mission here. We did not come here to exist in a state of lower dimensions. We came here to help to rise this earth to the higher dimensions. Now, on higher dimensions, then you're no longer able to exist in fear, meaning you release fear. In no way are we saying we, as angelic beings of light, are here, are not able to experience fear. That's part of being in an actual body. But the thing is, about releasing fear is you're able to not no longer hold on to it. It's similar to holding on to a hot uh, a hot iron. Now, if you hold on to a hot iron, instantly what's going to happen is, as you're aware, you drop it. Now, once you drop it, you feel a sense of comfort. Now, that's what happens when you drop the ego attachments. So, when you drop the criticisms, when you drop the judgments, then you realize that's not your voice. That's the voice of the ego. That's the voice of the conditioning that's been spread throughout generations. The voice of racism, the voice of chaos, the voice of judgments that feel like, uh, one soul should do something or one soul shouldn't do something. The voice of control, the voice of control. And you notice that a lot of souls right now that are having a difficult time with the ascension process are starting to try to control souls more. So they're starting to say some crazy things like, "Oh, you have to get here right now," or "You must get here right now," or they're screaming, wake up," or they're screaming, "Hey, why don't you get over here and we'll do this," or "I can't stand this person in my life." All these, because this person must leave. All these things are ego attachments, meaning you're attracting all this negative energy, all this dense energy, because once you label something as negative or positive, then the soul is actually split, meaning that you're focusing more on duality. Because some souls, some souls consider something negative to be positive, and other souls consider something positive to be negative. So there's no real unity there. How can there be unity if certain souls are basing their whole reality on belief systems that are based in separation? Now, this is where you exist beyond the need to feel doubt in your interactions with another soul. So what's happening right now is those souls that are starting to live more in unity are actually attracting more souls that are living on this similar vibration. And those souls that are living in fear and duality are actually attracting more chaos and drama in their life. And the reason for this is you can only attract what you place out inside of yourself. So if you're focusing on a whole bunch of ego-centered attachments and judgments inside of yourself, you're going to attract souls that can only spread out judgments and hate towards you. Now, this is how it works. You attract what's inside of you. Now, a lot of you star seeds and light workers are aware of the law of attraction. Now, there's a law of oneness as well, and that exists on a higher frequency. Now, in this law of oneness, then you're able to exist beyond what's considered to be separate. So anything that's based on, oh, this person is different from me, this person is not who I am, or you don't know me. Those are all separations. Those are all divisions. Now they start to fade the more you practice inner stillness, which is why we, of the angelic realms of the Galactic Federation of Light, often talk about you being more still within, which includes detaching who you are from the thoughts in your head. Now, for many, at first, this will seem impossible to do because you've been doing it your whole life. You've been attaching to a whole bunch of craziness, insanity, a whole bunch of judgments as real your whole life, and now it's a shock. It's a shock to detach, but it's necessary in order to ascend, to detach. It's similar to trying to take a whole bunch of weights in the swimming pool. If you take a whole bunch of weights in the swimming pool, what's going to happen is naturally you're just going to sink to the bottom. And once you release those weights, that's when you float to the top. Now, most souls are feeling you can take those judgments and belief systems, which are those weights, in the swimming pool with you. Now, we've been talking to you about this for some time now, about how that's not the case, meaning you're not able to ascend that way. If you feel like you can ascend through belief systems of feeling, oh, I am the mind, I am the body, and but I guess I'm this, I guess I'm that, then you're consistently setting yourself up for more doubt. You're consistently setting yourself up for more drama. Now, this shift is very important to Prime Creator, meaning uh, this shift is something that's taken a very long time to occur. And being that it's a graduation from the lower dimensions on the earth, it doesn't necessarily mean every soul will choose to graduate to this next level of consciousness. Some souls still feel like they need to suffer for many, many more years, many, many more lifetimes before they choose to detach from the suffering and to actually awaken to who they are, their true self. So this is the process of evolution that's been happening for a very long time and will continue to happen eternally. And yes, it is true, all souls are destined to be on the path of ascension, but not necessarily in this lifetime. Meaning, not all. We're at the peak point in the evolution of this earth, reaching full consciousness. So, as this earth transforms into the higher dimensions, it will no longer support those souls that choose fear, that choose judgments, that choose criticisms as a normal part of life. So all this drama is pretty much showing you what you're creating every day. So if you feel like your life is becoming more dramatic, less peaceful at times, then that's a sign, a clear sign that there's still much releasing to be done, so that you can actually ascend. And ascending means right now, not meaning, oh, I have to wait till December 21st, 2012 to ascend, and I'm going to count down on my calendar. I'm going to mark on my calendar. I'm going to mark on my calendar every day until December 21st, 2012 in hopes that somehow I ascend. That's not how it works. If it was that way, then since the day you got on this earth, you would be marking your calendar every single day. The evolution works based on realizing that time itself is an illusion. When you're born in this world, you're not marking days down on the calendar. And why is that? When you're given the ability to, it's because you're trained to feel as if time is real in a third dimensional reality. Now, it's taught to you that it's real in a linear sense, but in terms of who you are as a conscious light source, it's beyond what you're taught. Meaning, every experience you have is unique. Every moment you have is always experienced right now in the eternal moment. So when you live outside of the moment, meaning when you're living here, you're living outside of the moment. When you shift here inside, you're living in the moment. Because when you no longer live here, the judgments and the fears and the criticisms, then you're saying to yourself, I choose to no longer live in those fears by shifting inward to release them. Now, that releasing process is what's happening on the earth right now, and it will continue to happen for those souls that choose ascension right now, not later, but right now, meaning all souls can only choose it right now in the eternal moment. Now, this is the eternal moment because this is the only moment you can experience life. No matter what you look at on the time, whether it's 2013, 2050, 2060, all these are just illusions, meaning time itself is no longer real the more you shift into the higher dimensions, because it was created by us of the angelic realms of the Galactic Federation of Light, so that way you can have an experience, an expression. So time in a linear sense on the third dimensions has been created and molded from our original creation for a time to just be a simple expression, was molded into being a controlling force. So once it was molded into being a controlling force, then souls were taught that you age. Your bodies were not originally designed to age the way they are now. You've been taught to age, and you've focused on this thought so much that you've actually created the reality for yourself. So it's actually slowed down the process of your evolution for many thousands of years. And now is your opportunity to awaken beyond and to ascend, in which you no longer have to exist in a body that ages. Now, the body I have now will be the body that actually will be ageless, meaning I'm going to look like this for many thousands of years. So, anytime I choose to change how I look in the higher dimensions, meaning I'll be able to do that easily. Now, for those star seeds and light workers that are aware of this, um, you're actually able to sense this by now, that all incarnated angels on the earth at this time have this ability as ascended beings of light to guide and assist those souls that need assistance in lower dimensions. And then once they're no longer needed, meaning once the earth reaches a state of full consciousness and rises over this over the the upcoming weeks and upcoming months to a label that's or a level that's at a state of full frequency, meaning it's at a state in which there's a higher sense of consciousness and in which fear and time itself dissolve. Then you're able to see a new reality, and that new reality is now. It is in this moment. It is when you meditate. It's when you breathe within. It's when you feel a connection within. Now, this connection is eternal, meaning every emotion you experience, you notice, comes and goes. Every thought that you experience, you notice, comes and goes. But what stays true is who you are inside, an eternal presence. Now, yeah, that's all I will talk about in this segment for right now. Thank you for being open to our guidance as a collective, and yeah, send you much peace, harmony, and acceptance by your will to be more uplifted in the light. Thank you, and peace, joy, and harmony forever.